Hey, what's goody, fam? Kia ora whānau. Back in the building, Mind the Mic podcast with another episode. This time we got the sis Rach, the founder of Kaiahua, entrepreneur, lady with many hats, mother, grandmother, and also a former MasterChef contestant. What's goody, Rach? How's things?
Hi, Shubz. We're all good. We're very, very good. Happy. Counting days till we've got a bit of a holiday coming up. So other than that, just keep grinding until then. Mahi hard.
Oh, where you off to for your holiday?
Oh, we're off to Auckland for the weekend.
Auckland for the weekend.
Aye. So actually on
Is that a
Friday
holiday?
is well, for me, when you work in hospo, you don't
Yeah.
get no holidays.
Mm,
You don't
true
get
that.
weekends. You
Yeah.
don't get holidays. You don't get Christmases. You don't get sleep. It's all
Oh
good.
yeah, hard. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get sleep, but I don't work in hospital. I just cooked.
Oh, the thing is, I work in hospital for fun. It's
You're the fun.
not for money. Yeah, for the no
So
sleep.
even no sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
So give us a little backstory on the Rach. Take us back to when Rach was a young pup, where Rach comes from, or whatever you want to share. Anything that
All
leads
right.
into being where you are today.
Yeah. So, currently in Te Pakiwhaki o Hine Te Moa, which is my little whānau village in Pakiwhaki,
Mm-hmm.
just out of Hastings. So, Ngāti Kahungunu, Takitamu,
Yeah.
Kahiranaki, Ngariroro, all the
Mm-hmm.
jazz
All the jazz, yeah.
of Ngāti Kahu Ninjas. And yeah, so grew up here around all my cousins, 3 marae, 3 churches, 5 tinny houses.
Always got to have
Just
always got
keeping
to
it
have more
real.
titty houses than churches.
Wow, either way they're burning, aren't they? They're burning through money. Yeah. I don't know which one's the good one and which one's the bad one. No.
Tautoko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Religion is a funny thing.
Oh yeah,
Good for some
definitely.
people. Good for some people.
Yeah, hard. I think it gives people. I think it can give you like a moral scaffolding, or like some good and bad things, and how. But
Yeah, like a
how say that?
baseline, eh? Because I've
Yeah,
got
I think it
friends that,
can.
used to be Jehovah Witness and they've got that baseline of their belief system, but a lot of it they know is like, no, I'm allowed to be gay.
Mm, up
Like,
the
I'm not
gay.
a sin. Like I wasn't born a sin, Oh, but it's I was just born like this and this is how I am. And
Mm.
what church is to say that's good or bad thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Israel
Yeah.
Folau, but he would disagree with that statement.
I
But
know he
anyway,
would. It just cracks me up that his beautiful missus is so like, yes, babe. No, she doesn't say anything, But
no, yeah, I don't think she
you
does.
know,
Yeah,
no, she doesn't. But
mm.
what would you say?
Yes, babe.
Support thy man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, fair
Have to
enough.
support thy man. You took the name
That's it.
and all that
You
comes with it.
speaking of like Maria, you play a bit of sports in that too, eh?
Oh, I just a bit of old girl netball.
Old girl netball, yeah. There
Yeah,
you go.
old
What
girl
position
netball.
do you play?
I prefer defense, and I've played
Mm-hmm.
defense for years. I've got a little bit of a reach in the go gadget
Oh, true.
arms, but
Yeah.
just a little bit. And I can do these like ballet tippy toes. For a big girl, I can stand on them for a long time.
Yeah.
The balance is
How
exceptional.
yeah, how did that come about? Like, was there how did you practice standing on the tippy
I
toes?
did
Was it
I did used to do as a kid, I think, like gymnastics and ballet, but I got kicked out of ballet because I never listened to the teacher. I wanted to do my own thing. I just like the dress and the shoes and the like, oh, sorry, she just can't come anymore. Like,
yeah.
she just doesn't listen. She's just floating around the room and pirouetting. That I don't want to be
Mm.
structured. Same
Yeah,
as
no, that's it.
gymnastics.
Yeah. Same as eh?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I guess in high school was all basketball. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
where that came, but I guess, all the calf raises and everything.
yeah, yeah. All the calf
Yeah.
raises, even the old
Yeah,
even
yeah.
shooting a few free throws. You meant to, but
Yeah, yeah.
get on the old
Yeah.
toes, and then
Yeah.
obviously a jump shot. I don't know if you had one or not.
Yeah,
You know.
no, we were having a jam on Sunday actually, and my 3 points were going in with my old
Yeah.
ugly shot. It was an ugly shot. It was like this little right step, and I had to do
Oh
it.
yeah.
If you land, the defender was on that right side. I couldn't do that ugly step to shoot it in. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah. Reach Curry.
it
Eh?
was all basketball. Nah, nah. I would say Rach Pippen, but actually he's a kingpin, so that's saying too much. But at the
Oh
time,
yeah.
Pippen was my
Man,
man.
Pippin was me. Hey, oh shout out to Pippin's been in the news recently, or having a go at
Mm,
old Michael. You see that? And then I seen his wife
no.
Olasa. She's slated to marry Michael Jordan's son. Hey, so
Wow.
yeah, keeping it in the family, keeping it in the family. Yes, so Lasa's marrying
Wow.
Michael Jordan's son, who
That's a
she knew
bit
when he was a kid.
awkward.
It's weird, eh? It's so
Yay,
weird.
auntie. Oh, auntie.
She has to
That's
get on
cool. I'm
the
gonna look that up later.
yeah,
Oh.
she's gonna get on their Jordan Empire, eh?
Ah, wow. You they say, they mock Scotty, and he was the second best at the time.
Hey,
Like,
but Jordan didn't win without him. Jordan didn't win without him.
no,
You
that's
know what I mean?
right. He was the right hand man, and he
Yeah,
was just
that's it.
really underrated, and he didn't know his own worth, I guess, at the time, and he had bad management, and yeah, right,
Did
sure.
you watch The Last Dance?
Um, I did, I did,
Yeah. What were your thoughts on it?
yeah, yeah. That was it. I was like, oh, see, he could have been right up there, with him. Jordan could have taken him with him in that
Mm.
climb, to because he was just as great, you know. Um,
Yeah. Well,
well,
every
that was
Batman
me
needs his
biased.
Robin, eh? Every Batman
Wow,
needs his Robin. You know what I mean? Even we talked about
yeah.
Steph
And
Curry. I don't know
Scotty
if
did
you still
lift
watch.
him up.
Yeah, of course. Eh?
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
it's like that old whakatauki. Pretty much the front can't function without the back. If the
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. If the
And
ringawera aren't keeping the kai warm, and the pit diggers or the grave diggers aren't doing their mahi, and the cleaners, everybody on the pipe ain't worth shit. So yeah.
that's right. That's right. Many hands in it. Even
Yes, sir.
Rodman.
Fucking oath. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And then even in those earlier ones, like everyone like plays their role. Even Luke Longley, the great.
Yeah.
I live in
Oh,
Western Australia, so
Lucas, the man. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
live in Western Australia, and then this
The
is his
big
hood too.
boy.
Where he comes from,
Oh, yeah.
Fremantle. Yeah, old
Oh,
Luke Longley.
cool. Shout
Yeah,
out to
shout out to
Luke.
the bro. But yeah, we all play roles in life, and even in you being in hospital in the kitchen, everyone plays roles, right? Like,
Oh, definitely.
hmm.
I'm
So,
sorry, my son just got home from school.
no,
Hi,
good boy. Shout
boobies.
out to the sun. Shout out to the bro. Um,
That's a Taina. Taina
oh yeah,
Rimini.
yeah, that's ain't the remedy. Rach, so you said Paki Paki. What's the where you grew up? What's the story there? The five tiny houses, three churches. Don't know which one's better.
Yeah. Lots of handball, forceback,
Oh yeah.
all the fun stuff. Playing in the barn, playing in the paddocks,
Mm.
playing on the railway tracks. Yeah, it's cool. Cool upbringing, especially with whānau, pēnera whānau. Normalizing your te ao Māori is buzzy too when you go in the outside world, and
Oh
and
yeah.
people, how people
In what
deal
way?
with tangihana buzzes me out.
Different, eh?
Yeah, well, so we're used to it. We're used to being around our family, um, lying there, sleeping
Mm-hmm.
next to them,
Mm-hmm.
changing them after, getting them ready to go on their hiding, doing their brushing their hair, that's normal. And
Yeah.
then other people can't even fathom those thoughts. So I guess growing up in Te Ao Māori, without actually knowing that that's what I was already immersed in.
Mm. That,
Although
that's
I'm still yet
that's
to take
interesting.
my
What you
real
say?
journey.
Ah,
Um,
Iriti.
ah, yeah, I'll get there, and it's definitely thing. But the fact that it is there, it's around me still. whether
Because it's in you. It's in you.
it's in me.
Your real is in
Yeah.
you. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people put on, especially because I feel like this is what I've just from seeing. Obviously, I'm fortunate enough to grow up. Te Reo was my first language, and fortunate a lot
Very
of my
cool.
family, even though I live in Australia, a lot like we still kōrero a lot in te reo, and like ke te oro tonu, so it's still alive, and like my family, and we keep that going in our whānau. But I think a lot of Maori that grow up in te ao Maori and speak te reo feel like they are more Maori than someone that doesn't. But there's so many different
Sometimes.
circumstances. Yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've witnessed that a lot. Obviously, not everyone, but I witnessed that a lot, and I feel sad because obviously being in Australia these days, I've met a lot of Maori that have been here for a couple
Oh,
generations.
their
That
whole lives. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or even their dad was born here, even and
Yeah.
they hey gone mate, but like you look at
Oh,
them, they
yeah.
Maori, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
toto's what makes you Maori, blood's what makes you Maori. So, to any other
Yes,
cousins
that's
out there
right.
that are hating on whānau that don't speak te reo, there's many circumstances that go into that reasoning, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
just understand that everyone's journey is different, and it's okay, and it doesn't
It
make you more
finds us.
Maori
It finds
speaking te reo.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, 100, and
It's
it's in you.
it's
Yeah.
hard for I think it's easier for those ones because you could actually trace yourself back. Well, a lot of you can trace yourselves back, like from in
Haida.
Australia. I've
Mhm.
got nephews and nieces that were born and raised there. They got the Seekers accent, and when they're home, they're still you can see there's little teachings from around their whare in Australia that
Yeah.
has gone through like my brother to his kids. There are small teachings whether they were immersed in it or not, and they know they're Māori, and
Mm.
they're not surprised when people start singing a waiata or karakia. They just it's
Mm.
still there within them, but it's the
100%.
ones that I think got sent out of their homes, kicked out of homes, taken
Yeah.
at birth back
Yes.
in the 60s, 70s. They
Yes.
were really disconnected
Mhm.
from their whānau for those generations and ashamed, and so ashamed of being Māori and
Yeah.
just told they were. So some of them even hid it. I knew of a friend who had a half-caste nan who never admitted she was Māori. But then when they
Mm.
found out who her great-grandfather was, he was a brown man from down south. And
Mhm.
they were so sad she taught them like that they were Pākehā their whole entire lives. She was so
Yeah.
ashamed of her Māori.
Imagine the
And I
psychology though,
used to
like
be too. I
oh,
used to
you
be.
whakamapi being Maori. You ashamed.
Because I was the only Māori chick in my class, so I was like, oh, yes, I had to, I guess, whiten myself up a little bit. I
Mm.
never liked being brown. In summer, I'd make sure not to tan because I didn't want to be browner than
Wow,
everyone.
true. That's that
Oh, the
extent.
flip side now though is yeah, that was all high school and
Yeah, of
intermediate.
course.
Now I've got this yeah, this much more prideful thing there, but I'm not rude about it, I'm not in your face about it. But if I'm in
Mm.
a room with Pākehā, and I've been in spaces with Pākehā men that, like are millionaires, maybe even billionaires, and I feel like not only I belong here, but you're no better than me as well.
Mm.
And I actually am proud to be Māori in those spaces as well.
So
And some of
you're
them,
not whakamata
you can
10.
tell they get the jungle fever.
Yeah.
And then, you can tell. You can tell.
The jungle fever.
Um,
Oh shit.
you can just tell. They're like, oh, yeah, I think in the dark you wouldn't mind a little jigaboo.
The jigaboo.
But
But that's crazy they reach like
that's how
because like
proud I am to be Māori now.
yeah.
I own me.
And
I own me, and
same here, Rich. Always, no matter where I go. But I've never had that. Yeah, I mean, I can't really relate to the feeling of not wanting, like not wanting to tan because, like, I've always been proud to be Maori. So that's interesting and
yeah.
it's unfortunate, but also maybe as a cool perspective that you have, and also I think always think
There
about the
was a hat too,
psychology.
though. Yeah,
I always think about
because
the
it wasn't like
psychology of
that at
our.
home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's just trying to fit in or something. Oh,
Blender.
yeah. I always think when I was
E-blender.
yeah, blender. When I was growing up, like I've always thought about the psychology of our tupuna, like the ones that grew up detached from Te Ao Māori or grew up
Mm.
being ashamed because it was beaten into them. Like a lot of people don't realize how, like, even though a lot of people see, say, on TV or they see the All Blacks doing the haka, they see us having two
Yeah.
anthems, like, in both languages. They think that, like, it's always been that way. Like, it's not that long ago that
No.
our people were beaten for speaking our language. Like,
I know.
yeah.
And now they're raking in the tourism for it,
Yeah, or that shit cracks me up too. That they'll utilize te
Yeah.
reo, for
It's
the
a pick
for
and choose
monetary
thing.
gain.
For
Yeah,
convenience. Yeah, that's
for
right.
convenience. Yeah, monetary gain. But when
Yeah.
it's you know comes to other things, no good.
Like the
But anyway,
government. Yeah, yeah.
I think
I
that's a
also
whole
think like the
conversation for a
government.
whole nother
Oh,
day.
it
But
is.
we're
Yeah,
here to learn
politics
about
is.
the founder of Kaiahua and Rachael
Yeah.
Mako, founder of Kaiahua and everything that comes under that. So grew up in, what is it, between Hastings or just out of Hastings and between there and
Yeah,
Flexme or whatever. And
yeah,
then
we're all like a 12-minute jump from each other. Bridgepa, it's another
yeah.
Māori village. Mostly predominantly Mormon there.
Oh
And then
yeah. Oh, Joseph Smith
yeah,
and the
so
boys.
yeah. Yeah, and the girls and the brothers and the sisters. But we and all the basketball courts. But we have the churches, I think. So we have Anglican and Catholic. Um yeah, the other one's been shut down my whole entire life.
Oh, okay.
So,
They're pretty much the
yeah.
same though. Like they come from this, because
Yeah,
Anglican comes from Catholic.
yeah, they diverted or something somewhere along the
I think
way.
Henry VIII was his marriage wouldn't be annulled by the Pope at the time. I can't remember the Pope's name, but because this chick wouldn't, this lady that Henry VIII was married to couldn't bear children, or give him children, so he wanted his marriage to be annulled. The Pope said no, so he decided to create the Church of England, which is the Anglican Church. Yeah, so, and took a lot of their customs and that. So it comes from the same thing, all the same, really, but obviously,
Yeah,
little differences,
all
but yeah.
derived from one book.
Yeah,
Well, one book, many books.
yeah, they all come off the Catholic tree, if you go back far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100. Yeah. What else? So the kura in this place has as well housed my great-grandparents. My grandparents went there. My mother went there. I went there. My kids went there. Probably my moko might have a jam. We'll see.
That's cool. That's
But yeah, it
crazy.
is cool. And
That's
I've
awesome.
taught there a little bit, just a
Oh,
little
you
bit of
teacher?
rongo and
Oh,
cooking class.
yeah.
Nah, I'm a tutu.
Oh, yeah, you
I
look
just
like it.
dabble in everything. Yeah, I am. Oh, reform tutu.
Oh, reform, reform tutu. I'm a
I
good
don't
girl
wanna
now.
be a tutu no more.
That's it. So tutu,
Yeah.
say, and then how old were
Good
you when
girl.
you left, or you stayed there all your life, or what's the
Oh,
go?
actually, nah. So mum pulled me out of there when I was about 5, actually, like 5 or 6, because she said Pākehās will talk to me, and I sounded like a dummy kid because my first language was te reo. So I was one of the kohanga kids in the 80s as well.
Oh,
And
were you one of
then
that's the first generation of the old kohanga, eh?
yeah, yeah. So, and I remember too, it's funny, me and my cousin were 7 days apart, and we can both remember, and we both would have been about 2 years old. And we have memories from that shed. And I was like, it's funny, eh? We can remember that young. Just little glimpses, but enough to tell a story.
Yeah.
So yeah, those days. And then we moved to Flexmere. And we were one of the first kids at this school called Kimiora. So that was pretty. It's cool. It's cool. Grew up in Flexmere. I didn't know it was the hood.
Oh, true. Yeah, it was just home. Hey.
Yeah, Flexmere. No, it was just home.
Yeah.
It felt safe. I had to go to the dairy, which was I showed Mum. We went for a drive one day. The distance between our house and the dairy, and the route I would have had to walk. I was like, man, that's quite far for a little girl to go and get your Paul Momento, to go get your cigarettes.
How old were
I
you at the
could have
time?
got kidnapped. I would have been like 6 or 5, or and you could have been any age as long as you could carry your note and your money. Yeah.
Give us some ciggies.
Go get my mum some cigarettes. It was normal. Isn't that
Yeah,
funny that it was normal?
yeah.
Norm. Yeah, and definitely the days of have to be home before the lights on, or you're gonna get a crack, and you knew as soon as the lights were on, sprint.
Good there. Get home.
Oh man, that kung fu shoe was a stinger.
Get home before the lights go on.
Whack, get in the bath, and it even stung even more in the water. Like,
Ooh, stinger. It's scary.
Yeah, like 5 minutes max from when the lights turned on.
Yeah.
Never knew I was Usain Bolt, but believe it
you
or
made
not,
it home, mate. Wow, let's go.
not all the time.
Not all the time, mate.
Otherwise,
Gotta come
I
through
wouldn't be
singer
able to tell
sometimes.
you. Yeah, you gotta learn the sting so you don't do it again.
Yeah, true that. Bro, I was bad at learn this thing and then just do it again anyway.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah.
And again.
Was that worth it? Worth it.
The thing I don't mind though is when I like live with people and they started doing groundings and took things off you, or like took the football off you and stuff like that. Like, hey, what the fuck is this? What is this stuff? Grounding? Give me a hiding, please.
Yeah, get it over and done with. Let me keep my phone.
Give me a dong, please. Yeah. Okay, no.
Get my ball back.
Yeah, get my ball back out. Can't play football. Hey.
That was worse.
100%.
Must have been tough. I can't even think of what was this. I remember one hiding. My mum, she comes out to me and my brother. He's a year younger than me, and she said, "Who's been writing in my checkbook?" And I was like, "Not me." And he was like, with this innocent face, and she's like, "Who's been writing in my checkbook?" And I was like, "No, not me." And anyway, I had to hold up my hand, and she just whacked over, and I was like, "Have you been?" And I was like, "No, it wasn't me." And then she clicked because my brother starts sobbing behind me, and she goes, "Just go along with it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" So I had to pretend after that she was still smacking me, but I was still traumatized from the initial smacks. And then she was like, "Who did it?" He was like, "It was me." And I'm like, "Man," and he didn't even get a smack.
Didn't even get a crack.
Nah.
All right.
Nah. So I think she had to really search inside herself. Now that I think about it, she was deflecting.
No. Deflecting, eh? I'm just learning that one. Yeah, the deflecting. So young Rach, great on Flex me and the little.
She regrets hitting us, by the way. She's like, "I regret smacking you kids, but look how you turned out."
Hey, you good? I ain't judging auntie. It's all good.
No,
I got plenty.
No, I mean, I know people got worse off than me. Like,
100.
Yeah, like I still had a roof over my head. I still had Kai.
Yeah. It's all relative, though. It's all relative to our own situations. Yeah.
Yeah, and time. It was just the time. It's not the times anymore. Not everyone gets a crack these days.
Yeah, some people need a crack.
Yeah. No, because watch out if you take their PlayStation off them. World War 5.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. My kids are still young, so no PlayStation yet. So just
I don't have to take my.
So
I don't have
can't
to
find
bench
it in
my
myself.
kids, though, right?
Yeah, I can't find it in myself to do the old smacks too much more. Just the corridors are enough, you know.
Yeah.
The bro says the word, and then it's pretty good.
I don't know how many years, Boo, have I been saying you're gonna get it? Have you got it yet? It's just laughing. Not yet, but you will.
So you
Yeah.
moved out of your town? Where have you ever like what's the go with the
Yeah.
journey?
So we moved to Palmerston North my first year of high school. So I was the new
Yeah.
girl at school. It was
Oh yeah.
called Freiburg High School. It was all right. There was a few racist teachers there and everything, but there were some amazing ones too. Like my
Yeah, they're
third form
amazing.
teacher, they followed you into fourth form as well, so you became a stable class. I liked my class. But I did come from this whole, oh, everyone's tough around here, and so I thought I had to be tough there, but I didn't have to be tough there. Once I started finding myself, I was much better.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Still
yeah.
finding myself, but
Is that where you were
yeah.
trying to be white?
Nah, I
Oh,
was
before that.
emerging from that. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I was emerging from that. So it was intermediate, and
Oh, okay.
then when I got there, I was still the only Māori girl in my class, but I wasn't the
Hmm.
only Māori. So I had some Māori guy friends, and they were cool. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, we all still kind of friends. We see each other and follow
Yeah.
each other on Facebook. Yeah, no, all good.
Did you
Most
ever
of
kiss or nah?
high
No, no,
school.
not that kind of mates.
Nah, I wish
Nah.
I did one of them. Um, no, and I always regret it actually. There was one time
Nah,
we
no
actually could
regrets.
have.
Yeah,
No,
no
yeah, I
regret.
do. But
Oh,
but
you
I had
do?
the drives. Yeah, we nearly did, and he was walking me home for the club, and we hadn't seen each other in years. So when we saw each other, it was just like, hi. And anyway, he yeah, he wanted to, and I just had the mean drives, and I was like, I just need a drink, and he was like, it's now or never, and I was like, I just need a drink. And I would not kiss him with a dry mouth. I just refused to. But
Oh,
I didn't
true.
even
Yeah,
tell him I got the dries, bro.
yeah, the brain one of the story was ugly
Because
or
we've been
something.
talking. Yeah, yeah. Nah, he wasn't ugly. Anyway, he hopped in the taxi. I was like, that was your only chance. And I was like, oh, well, I had
Oh
the
well.
dries.
E tohu tērā, eh?
And then he moved
Dry
to the
mouth.
UK and I and then and now he owns McDonald's in Palmy. So funny.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I think he has
That could have
shares. I
been
think he still owns it.
that could have been your McDonald's girl.
Nah. Oh, good. Oh, good. We're good. I would have been
Bro.
McFatty fat. Nah.
Yeah, yeah, up the McFatty fat. So well, Palmy for then what?
Palmy.
What's the go? What's the
Then
next?
when
What's the
Mum
next
was at
journey?
Messi,
Mm-hmm.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
uni,
so
eh?
basketball, that was my thing. And
Oh,
Mum was at
basketball. Yeah.
Messi, I wasn't. Yeah, yeah, basketball. I did all right with basketball. I never really played netball. I was too cool to play netball, and I didn't
Oh,
actually realize how cool netball was. Yeah.
oh, true. Well,
Um,
was that a
when
stigma
I was
back in
a,
the days? Like, if you play netball, you weren't cool,
uh,
or what do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know. None of my friends in my class played netball, so
Oh,
oh, it's not cool to play sports. But I still love sports, so um, some of the girls in my Māori class, I started being friends with them slowly. And then I would go to basketball trials and I just became less shy because my
yeah,
mum wasn't the real like hands-on mum type. So any trials or any thing I wanted to do at school, I had to take myself. Like
true.
it's funny. Yeah, I had to put myself, I had to involve myself, I had to sign up for things myself. I was never encouraged to. It was all self-driven or else or nothing. So I guess learning to be self-driven was a hard one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because even staying at home, staying at school till training till 5:30, and my house was like an hour bike ride from the school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's daunting too. Biking home, and I don't know. That was normal. And yeah, high school, and then I became a young mum at 17.
Yeah. So, your mom,
Yeah,
how many little ones you got?
the big ones. So
Yeah, little big ones.
three sons. Yeah, my big boy, he's 24, 25 this year. And then we have 16, and then the youngest boo boo, aka Taina Rimini.
Yeah.
Three sons, three dads, and the other two are by their dads. So we've got my oldest son who's in the Wairarapa by his father. and and my moko. And then we have my 16-year-old Mr. Taiaha. He's in Palmerston North by his father. And yeah, this one's still with me, the baby.
Oh, yeah.
I keep the baby. And his father's on a hiding in Australia. And we just got divorced a couple of weeks ago, but we are awesome. We are cool.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
mates.
divorce.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, would you get married again?
Uh, it's not an important thing right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's not even I don't even daydream about it. I daydream about my business being successful. I daydream about going on tour and doing some mentoring type things and little
Yeah.
workshops or yeah. I even daydream about, mentoring high school kids that are struggling to focus or stay in there, or because they only know a certain lifestyle, that I want them to know that I know what I know those people, and it's your choice. It's not your parents, it's not your surroundings, just those sort of things, and help them, like just mentor kind of things.
Hmm.
Mentorship,
No,
just
that's
the
awesome.
rangatahi.
Some awesome goals. Well, like you just spoke on business there. When have you always been
Yeah.
entrepreneurial? Like, when did you start getting into that buzz?
Not really entrepreneurial. I've always had great ideas, and some of
Okay.
them, well, to me, I just
Yeah.
idea after idea. But every idea, it does actually cost money. Ideas cost
Hmm.
money to try.
Well, if you want it to become a reality, yes, for sure.
Yeah, and some ideas I've had, I didn't realize how much money they cost, including this business. I got the
Okay.
power. Like
I got the power. Speak
I,
on that a little bit.
yeah, I, yeah. So I got the power. Netball team made our team some merch, just playing t-shirts. Actually, when they got them, they said it was too nice for netball because they're just plain white
Oh, true.
t-shirts. I'm like, no, that's too nice for netball. I'm like, oh. But I, at the time, I was auditioning for MasterChef at the same time, so I didn't actually get my top until when I got home. Anyway,
Hmm.
all our friends really liked them, so they asked for some, and then more friends, and then cousins, and then family, and then next minute it's a little thing. So I thought, oh, just in case, I'll better trademark it, in case it becomes another thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was only on the backbone back then. I wasn't really doing much about it. I wasn't
Hmm.
pushing it, advertising, because I think I was still working at the time at Kinloch Lodge in Taupo, and that's when I worked 6 days a week that time. So 4 days in Taupo, driving there and back, and then 2 days I was at the kura teaching rongoa and cooking. So
Hmm.
yeah, all these
But
we have to go back, to go forward, to go back.
yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah.
So and what is I got the power then? If someone asks you, what's I got the power? What is?
I got the power. Well, first of all, it's just a punny, because I'm really punny.
Yeah.
So of the song by Snap, that I got the power.
Yeah. Get it?
Um, there's a few. I've got a few in the bank, but they're not coming out yet until I've
Yeah.
trademarked them.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
some goodies, and plus, I just got to really do. I got the power first, so that, and then my dish happened to be on MasterChef, a power pie with a power sashimi. So I was the essentially, you're the power girl. Oh, you're the power
Oh, yeah.
pie girl. Yeah.
So you did have
So
the
it just
power then.
stuck. I did, apparently.
Yeah. Or do you
I
do? I
still
guess you
do.
do still.
I
Yes,
do.
you do.
Yeah, I do
So
have some in the
can you show
freezer.
us
Yep.
some? Like, I got the power for the screen because I can hardly bloody see it if I'm on
Oh,
camera here and look at it on the
yeah.
camera. Oh, there we go. I got the power. So that's and it's also so it's your thing. It's
Or
your pun. It's you. It's but
yeah,
it's
it's
also a clothing
kahunganu.
brand.
Yeah,
Kahungunu, yeah. In what way?
kahunganu. So
How is it kahungunu?
um, ka
What's the go there?
I don't know why kahunganu in particular, if this is the same reason that we've got the power emblem. So our the taonga we wear and how we dress. There's some power incorporated in it. Even on our
Mm-hmm.
logo, our Ngāti
Mm-hmm.
Kahungunu logo, our Takitamu logo, all power. And as well as when Takitamu met Rongo Mai Wahine, that's how he snapped her up with
With the power.
gifts of power. Yeah.
Pretty things there. And what about someone that's overseas
Yeah.
that's hearing this power? How can you explain the power to them? Or
I always say to the guests at the restaurant, abalone,
baloney.
or sometimes I wear my power earrings or my power necklace so I can say, you know this shell? Oh yeah. There's a meat that's inside of it. Um, Similar texture to, but I don't want to say a slug. It's like a sea slug. Because that doesn't sound appealing and delicious. Yeah, has antennas and teeth, but you got to take the teeth out before you cut it up. Even when I did the audition, they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Because I took whole power." And so I was
Yep.
taking the teeth out, and they're like, "Teeth?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I said, "I'll show you." And then I showed them the two teeth, and they're like, "Oh my God, I never knew power had teeth." I'm like, yeah,
How does that work?
they're
So,
better to
like
eat
the
you
whole,
with.
how does that work? The whole Master Chef thing and like getting in there
Mm.
and like all of that. What was the process like?
Yeah, it's just a matter of filling a format online. So I had been at Kinloch for a while, and then the mandates come in,
Yeah.
and because at the time I just finished my level 4 in Rongoa, so I was already a chef. We'll go back there
Mm-hmm.
one time.
Mm-hmm.
Chef had my chefing degree, and then I just got my level 4 in Rongoa, but I was still working at. Went to Kinloch 2021.
What's
Um,
Kinloch?
It's out of Taupo, this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful castle. So I was there for a while, and then the mandate came in, and I was still in the, oh, nah, I'll just be my own dog. I'll have my own medicine. I won't go around people. If they're going to shut the world down, what do I have to get an injection for? I'll just stay home.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine by me. I'll stay home. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Stay at the beach, and I'll just hang out by myself. And I was happy, if we have online now. We can talk lives.
Yeah. Look at
Anyway,
this.
so wow, that's right. So I went home, and then Mum was like, "Oh, because they all got their jabby jabs," and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Nah, I'm not doing it, Mum." So she was like, "Oh well, have you signed up for MasterChef yet?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I signed up for MasterChef and my degree in Māori medicine the same day, and
Okay.
MasterChef rang me. And actually, they tried to ring me for 2 days, but I was out at the beach. And my sorrows because I didn't have a job. But yeah, I was getting used to the idea of this is going to be my life now. And at that time, I was rowing in a canoe on a rainy day, and I was right around the mountain, and I must have got some bars on my phone, and it said, "This is da 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 from MasterChef." So I was like, "Oh shit!" So hoit, ran, rode back to shore, and then when I saw which day it was that they
Yep.
messaged, it was 2 days before. So, oh, rude. So I drove the car up the hill so there's a better reception up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, rang Master Chef back, and she's like, "Oh, so you haven't put on your form if you've received an injection?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." She said, "Oh, you're going to need one for the show." I was like, "No, I just left my job for that." She said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I understand," because I told her what, I was like, "Oh, I know and I eat well and I never get sick." And like I just don't understand why I don't understand. I
Yeah.
couldn't grasp the concept. Everyone's like, "Do it for our old people." And I'm like, "I won't go
Oh,
by them."
that was the dodgy one. There's a dodgy one too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You do it, but like that's their
it's not
whole like
about you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I still don't get like how, like if I wear my rain jacket, how does that stop you from getting wet? You know what I mean? Like if if you already got yours on, you should be sweet. Relax, bro. Uh,
Yeah. And everyone else was willing to get their rain jacket. And what? Well, I like
Mikas.
that. Yeah. And what? Like, I fine. You wear the rain jacket. I won't even come in the rain. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
want to be by the rain.
Yeah.
I'll just keep in my lane. Yeah.
But you had to get it, eh?
But
She said, yeah, you got to get
I
it,
had to
girl,
get
or you
it.
can't come.
Yeah. Oh, she gave me 2 days. She gave me 2 days to think about it. And I told my mum and I was like crying about it. And she said, well, if you don't want to do it, that's okay. We'll still love you. And I'm like, oh, that's good. So
I
I
still love
still,
you.
oh, that one's a funny one. There's another story too. Um, so I was like, oh, okay. And then I thought about it. This opportunity is bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
It's for this community, it's for my people, it's for my iwi, it's for my hapu. And when you start thinking like that, and then you throw in the, oh nah, I'm the man at Rongoa, I can just heal
Oh, I
myself.
can
Like
heal myself. I'll heal myself.
if this injection is yuck, I'm just gonna heal myself. Like
Yeah, okay.
if it ruins me, I'm like,
So what
okay.
did you have to do? You had to get the 1, the 2. What was the go?
I took it the 2, yeah.
Woo-wee,
And
you got the 2,
at the
eh?
time, I had a friend who was like, "Fuck, I wish." She said they were just giving out the certificates at one point, and she wishes she could have just given me some. And then they started monitoring them a little bit, but it was a while because other than that, they could just give them out. They were giving them out like lollies. Nurses to their friends, doctors to
Yeah,
their friends.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I may or may
and
not
then
know a few that no.
yeah, wow. I knew there was doctors that were, take a little bit of cash payment for, and those
Some of the
doctors
cousins will
also
just
that didn't believe.
shoot it in the sink. Some people were just shooting it in the sink and then giving the ticket if you paid some
Oh,
money. Some
well,
people
I
say.
wish, I wish.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I would have taken it. Some people, because you just had to show up, you didn't have to provide ID, you just say your name. Some people were getting shot up 3, 4, 5 times just for money to get other
Mm.
people's shots, you
Yeah, I
know?
heard that too. Oh, there's heaps over here because I don't know how it was over there, but yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
heard
they
about
had
that
the
too.
you
A
were
lot of
like
brothers
going
over
through a
here.
drive-through to get shot up. What
Mm.
the?
People just go, yeah, brother. And then, like, some of the old Unky J's, the old junkies were like, fuck it, brother. I've had heaps of needles. Let's go. Bam, bam, bam. How much you got?
Yeah,
How much you got, cuz?
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
I
because
bet
you had to get 2 and you got the 2
I had
and
to
then
get
you,
two.
so what's that
Yeah, I
whole
was really
MasterChef process
fortunate
like?
though.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin came to the beach to do it for me. So she came to my whenua, our whenua actually. And we did a whole process, and then I said my karakia, and I said to the actor, I held the injection. I said, the second you get inside me, you're not welcome here. You can fuck right off.
Yeah, you should have just shot it on the ground and said, cuz, I got it. All good. Fucking
No, she had
no.
another nurse. She had another
Oh,
nurse
true.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they had
Well.
to. It was compulsory, like especially if they're on the van. But no, that was all right. So the second I got one, I sprinted to the ocean and I was sculling the water,
What,
like flush it
seawater?
out,
Oh,
seawater.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like flush. I'm gonna
Yeah,
flush it
flush.
right through.
As long as it's
Yeah,
not thrush.
and I did the
Yeah.
same the second time too. Yeah. Yeah. So finally went for the audition. They said we had about 2 weeks to come up with our dish. And I
Mm-hmm.
just had one conversation with my old chef, and she was telling me about one of her grandma's recipe with fish. And I was like, I actually want to use paua. And I'm like, how can I make that? She was telling me about this fish pie.
Does she teach
And
you a
she's
lot, this old
Chilean.
chef?
Oh, yeah, she did. She still is teaching me, and I don't know how she's doing it because there's stuff she's embedded in me. And
Mm.
yeah, stuff I really did learn a lot from her, and I envy anyone that gets to work underneath her because she has a wealth of knowledge, that
Yeah.
woman. But I'm really
Can we plug
fortunate
that
that
lady's name or nah?
I'm in the same place. Oh yeah, so Norca Menos. She's this tiny little Chilean lady, but you wouldn't fuck with her. Like she's beautiful, pretty, lovely, and good to you if you're good to her. But yeah, I would not mess with her. She's just she's the bomb. Long history of uh just chefing and, you know, in the middle of the Alps over there in Chile and stuff like that, and these massive hotels. And she's got yarns, and you can just listen to them for days. It's the same as the current chef I work under now, is his front of house. Just these people that have all this history behind them, and me, old tin bum, come into their lives, and I can just wing things like that, like MasterChef, and knowing I'll cook it. I think I cooked my dish 6 times max, and even the 6th time I did it was in the hotel room for my Wellington audition, and that was just to confirm
how
what
many
someone had
auditions do you
told
have?
me. 2. So there's your producer's audition, which is Auckland, Wellington, or Christchurch, and then it's the official chef judges audition. That's when you get flown down, and from there, the producer said to me at the Wellington audition, everyone's dish was them on a plate. Yours was New Zealand on a plate. And I thought that was the biggest compliment ever. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I must be all right. And okay, yes. And I got in. I found out like the 2 days later that I was in for the chef's audition. So yeah, they fly you down to it was Queenstown at the time. I'd never been to Queenstown.
Oh yeah.
And it was beautiful. You walked off the plane and there's your name. Like,
those ones, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, and then there were 4 of us at the airport, and I actually remember 2 of them from the audition. We were in the same slots, but watching them, I remember watching them. And then, it was a Saturday afternoon, and they said, all right, we'll see you Monday morning. Stay in your rooms because COVID was still around. And if you got COVID, you're out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you wouldn't go clubbing or anything like that, otherwise you're out. You COVID, you're out. So yeah, and then audition was Monday morning. We met everyone else. There was 26 of us contestants all up from all over. And then it was D-Day. We all jumped on. Did we all have 1 boat or 2 boats? I don't even remember how many boats. Maybe 1 boat. And then we took a boat over to this little, it wasn't an island, but the most beautiful hotel, like old
On the lake.
on the lake. I forgot the name. Oh, I don't know. It was like a barbecue restaurant, but had history. Like this one family had lived there for generations and generations, and they were all over the wall. Pakeha family. Wilford House or something. Anyway, but yeah, the auditions took 3 days. And with the 26 people, I was the 3rd person to cook. So I was like, oh shit, got to get it over and done with now. But no, it was good. It went well. And I finished my dish under time. And then the waiting game, and I think it was at least an hour and a half from when I actually prepared my dish to taking it into the judges. I was like trying to keep it warm, like, can I have a tin foil? But actually, they don't worry about it. They don't worry about it being cold. So, yeah. And that's when I learned, there's the magic of television. But so I'm glad on that 3rd day, I was actually quite funny too, just actually being my dorky self. And the chef Vaughan, I remember him saying something like, oh, you can tell like your tipuna have come with you. And I was like, yeah, and they want you to give me an apron. And that became the advert for that.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that became the advert for that segment. But I don't think I was on the first show, which is funny. I think I was on like the 2nd. So even though the order was
the magic of television, they put you
magic of television, somewhere in the middle. So 3 days for that audition. So we had to wear the same clothes every day for 3 days and act like it was day 1. Like, congratulations. Wow. Yeah. Every day. Come the 3rd day, you can tell the ones that were sweating because you could count how many aprons were left. So that's tough.
Far up.
Yeah.
And
So
so how
only
did you?
16.
Yep.
Yeah, only 16 got picked to go
Yeah.
into the MasterChef kitchen, which I still think is quite a lot, really. 16. But yeah, I was one of the 16. So I was contestant number 13. There was a contestant before me that left during the night. That
Okay.
is a big, funny, hilarious hudder I can't talk about. But
Oh, okay. Damn.
yeah,
Was you sign a?
well, I'd
Did you
love
sign a
to.
waiver? No.
I did sign a waiver, but I don't know if
Hey.
I'm free from it now because I know it was 12 months after the last
Oh, you're
episode.
all good.
That's
Say first.
yeah, but I don't
Let's
know. Like,
go.
are we allowed to talk about it now? But
Yeah,
man,
fucking no.
she
Okay,
was
how long's it
she
been?
was bonkers. I can just tell my own opinion. She was
Yeah, go.
bonkers. She
Yeah.
was I found her to be too perfect. Like the first 3 days of auditioning, she was just smile. She had the perfect husband. I have the perfect children and perfect. And she did come off that way. And then her Instagram was perfect. And
Yep.
yeah, everything. She just smiled and yeah. But I think she had quite a big cooking following as well. And she got the bottom 3 2 times in a row, I think. And it got to her. She cracked.
Oh,
And
true.
yeah. But really, her heat didn't stand up in the kitchen. That's just
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's
So
all it was.
and in her head, I think she thought, oh my gosh, the whole of New Zealand is gonna find out I'm a shit chef, or they're gonna think I'm a shit chef when I've got all this
When
following.
this is
And
my true.
yeah. So
Woohoo!
she was listening to one of my friend's auditions through the wall, and they talked about, and she cooked with her, and she said, all my friend said was, I felt like she was like a teacher and was telling me what to do, and she smashed through the room and started like, you're a fucking liar, da, 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 and starts
Oh,
nutting it.
true.
Yeah, and the camera's like, hey. So they tried doing a little bit of talking with her, to come back on the show, like, don't leave. And she ended up staying the rest of that day. But yeah, she left in the middle of the night. She packed up and left in the middle of the night. And then after that, she started slamming the judges and the contestants just before the show aired, saying it's all rigged and saying that we all know what we're doing, and everyone, yeah, it's all set up. The judges, it's all set up, and everyone's fake, and it was just really nasty and ugly. And from that, we just all thought, oh no, you're just an ugly person.
Instagram versus
But
reality.
yeah, that's right. It's exactly how it was.
There you go. And
And then the funniest thing was the show didn't even highlight how terrible her cooking was. What you saw, and because what the judges would tell us sometimes was like good advice, and for us to take away with us. Not the audience at home did not see half of what the judges would tell us.
true.
So she's getting all this feedback about your rabbit is shit. No, they didn't say that. But
Yeah. No.
you thought you could cook a rabbit and it be tender in an hour and a half? And she's like, yeah. Nah, so
True.
they didn't say things like that, but yeah, I think that's how she heard them and thought, now New Zealand's gonna think. But that was, we weren't allowed to talk about it. I even did an interview with the Hastings Hawke's Bay newspaper, and I had to have the other person online just to make sure I didn't say anything if they asked me those questions.
True.
Yeah.
So I was like that, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, no, like keep going. Sorry, like they almost mediated the call.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, but it is under Warner Brothers, so.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So And then how did you go in MasterChef? What was the go? I mean, one
Yeah,
episode, two? How
like
many, like how did it?
three.
Three,
I think I got off in the third or
third one,
fourth.
yeah.
First one, second one was the third one. So 13th. Yeah, and that one was Monique Fessel. So she was the head chef of Hiakai in Wellington. They've actually
Mm-hmm.
just closing now. I'm gutted because I never got to go there. But definitely she was one of my idols, one of my chefing idols.
Yeah.
I happened to take my book that day because I knew that we had a guest judge. So I took my Hiakai book with me. And so yeah, she signed it for me, which was
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah, it was a
After she
bit
booted you off,
just
no jokes.
yeah, well, she felt so bad. She did. She felt so bad. She told me to my face as well because she came out and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like that was so hard to do." But she said, "I've learnt more from um my not problems, my
Failures, or I guess they would say, or whatever.
failures. Yeah, I've learnt more from my failures than I ever did from any of my success." So
100%.
yeah. So that and she's like, "Oh, you just remind me of my little sister." And I was thinking, even though I'm older than you. But anyway, that and she offered me an apprenticeship, a week apprenticeship at Hiakai. But we
You
just
never
never
went.
crossed paths again. Nah,
Mm.
I did attempt and I also still had work as well, but they were all ready for me to, yeah, like whenever. And I guess it just broken communication at the time,
Mm.
but it's all good. And I hear where I am at now, so I'm quite happy being with Jeremy. To me, he's the at Pacifica, he's up there to me. So there's
Yeah.
seven three-headed restaurants in New Zealand, and he's one of them.
Oh, true.
But
Wait,
he does,
three
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Three what? What? What did you say?
three-headed, three-headed. So hatted restaurants is the Australasian Michelin, I guess, and it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
top. So
Oh,
it's
you know, Michelin.
basically
Michelin's like that
yes.
tire thing, eh? Tire thing,
Yes,
eh?
the same
I didn't even,
whānau.
yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
realize. Because I would,
yeah.
like baby mum would always like watch like, people on vloggers that would travel the
Michelene
world and go to
stars.
different Michelin
Yeah.
star restaurants. And there was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
that's the tire thing. We were tripping out. Yeah,
It
cracking.
was. And it is the exact same family. It's funny how they
Yeah,
got that.
yeah, yeah.
Little bit of an empire.
Yeah, but what was the go? Did they create that, or did they intend to create something like that to was it like a log or something? I can't remember when I read it. Fuck, I forgot. Something like that, that they wanted to
Yeah.
just rate different
Oh,
restaurants.
yeah, they
Yeah,
needed to. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they,
So
so
what's that? Seven
Michelin
headed?
star.
What I got? Three headed?
Nah, five.
Five
Five.
headed.
So,
Sorry.
so in New Zealand, so Australasia, they came up
Mm.
with the hat system from the family, the hats, the portais. No, it's not. But it's not.
Fucking idiots! You got me there. I was like, oh, you're the heads. Fucking hell. You got me there. I was like, oh, who's the heads? Oh, do I know any heads?
Learned a new thing. Learned a new thing.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So yeah, they come up with the hat system,
Yeah.
and that's the Michelin star of Australasia, eh?
Australasia. Yeah. So started in Australia, then New Zealand. They just
Yeah.
needed something different and they couldn't. I think it's like champagne. You can't use champagne over here. Like
Yeah.
it's brut or something or bubbles.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so he's on the humbler side of three hats, I reckon, because a lot of the other three hats restaurants in New Zealand are really, really they're expensive, but they're also worth every cent. Like it's a
Do you know?
journey. They're all a
Oh,
journey.
yeah. Have you been to any of them?
No, nah, I haven't. So Hiakai actually just lost one of their hats last year, and I think one of the stipulations is it should be easily accessible to the public, which Hiakai isn't. It's
Oh.
hard to get in. And there's another one. So one of the judges, Vaughan, he owns one called Amersfield, and
Mm.
his is quite world renowned. Where else is there? And a lot of them are in Auckland, but we're the only one in Hawke's Bay. And yeah, most of his kai is just really home stuff. He says that you could create it at home. Like you don't have to climb mountains or forge rivers to get these ingredients. Everyone can possibly make them with, yeah, as long as you've got the love behind it, which he does for the people. Man, he just wants the people to try it, eh? So he's also the cheapest three-headed restaurant in the world. And so underrated. Like it should be packed every night, but it's not, unfortunately.
That's crazy. So shout out to, what is the restaurant called?
Pacifica and Marine Parade in Napier. Yeah.
The cheapest five-headed restaurant.
Yeah.
In the
6 courses for $105.
And this fellow is a Māori boy, or?
He's a Māori, so Jeremy Ramika, he's from Taumaranui. And man, he's got some yarns. I'd actually love for you to talk to him one day. I asked him, would you do he's quite shy. He's quite shy, but
well, maybe he comes on with you, then it might be a bit better.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said just be like talking, like how we do Over the Pass, which is I said it's a podcast I want to make up, Over the Pass, because there must be some stories over the passes, people's over the pass all around the world.
Yeah.
You know, the connection between front of house and back of house. Telling the stories about the customers and stuff. Yeah.
Let's get some chefs there. Let's get some chefs together and check them on. I'm sure they got, like you said, sounds like you fellas got some yarns out there, you chefs.
There are some yarns. And some shade. Man, they got some shade too. Oh, Hospo. They've got stories.
50 Shades.
I bet. Yeah. I know 69 shades, but I wouldn't know personally.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, eh?
No, not I. That was in another lifetime.
Yeah. You lived in Oz for a bit, though, eh? In Oz.
Yeah, I did. Well. Yeah, I lived central Queensland, a little place called Moranbah. Little mining town.
Yeah, the mining town.
Shout out to the Moranbah Bulls. We actually, my husband and I started the ex-husband. Started the rugby club over there. Oh, actually, we officially got married until the 27th. Yeah. So the Moranbah Bulls, and they're still going today. And then we had.
What do you mean? Like, so you and your husband were the founders of their club?
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Up the Bulls.
Yeah. Up the Bulls there. The Bulls. Oh, that's real cool.
Yep.
So what was it like in that town? What you get up to?
Awesome.
Mining wife?
I was a mining wife. It's so funny too, because I was hapu when I moved there. It was horrible. It was like 40-something degrees, and I just couldn't deal with the distance from my family, the distance from the world, the heat. You know, my son Taiaha at the time, he was 2, and he went from full-time kohanga to stay at home. So lucky I used to be his kohanga teacher too. So I tried as much as I could to keep going with him. And as well as when Taina came along, I was a whole different parent to those two when we moved over to Australia. And then my son was 8 at the time, I think. So he was at school during the day. But yeah, it was all the people there, like whānau from New Zealand, were all from everywhere. And you soon found your friends, and then they soon became your family. And man, we were all close. We're all on that same path. We're all trying to make money, as much money as we could. We had a good lifestyle. Yeah. You know, we'd all go away the weekends. You know, we're all the kids' aunties and uncles, and you're my kids' aunties and uncles. And then we'd, you know, go away with aunties and uncles, book out penthouse, and just, you know, we were just laughing it up. It was a great life. So I was working really hard too. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was quite the tutu then as well.
Yeah. What did you have?
Yeah. So I had a kids party business. We'd do face painting, tattoos, glitters. Had a bit of a lolly bar and
The balloons and all that
manicures.
too? Or
Nah, because there was
No.
actually a balloon person.
oh, so there wasn't
But
a
there
kids
wasn't a
party
face.
person, but there was a balloon.
Yeah, there was a balloon
Oh.
person. So at the markets, I remember our first time at the markets, I think we were there for 2 hours and made 500 and it was too hot. We're like, should we go home? I'm like, yeah.
Just on face painting.
Just on face painting. And we just, spent the bare minimum time there. They used to go all out for the, what are those workers? And you're all in that union. For the
for the
union
union,
people.
Oh, the
Yeah, so
union,
they'd throw
those
this.
markets, those things they throw.
Oh,
those
they throw a
those
union
festivals.
day.
Party,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got $4,000 for that day. That was pretty
Let's
good.
go.
Yeah, I was like,
Huh?
Harvey's all the way. We'll just buy more paints and stuff and we'll just go Harvey's all the way. She was like, yeah, well, it was me. But yeah,
Yeah.
we used to cricket there. I used to have a little beauty business as well. I did lashes and sometimes makeup and hair, just depended what was needed. I was doing all right there. Had a cleaning business, so I'd do the odd exit cleans, but mostly for offices and stuff. It was just easier.
Oh, okay.
Cleaning office, yeah. So I had all these keys to heaps of businesses in town. This little girl from Pacifica. And I also, at the same time as having these businesses, I think I was like the chairman of like the Winds in town. Their vision of Winds. Yeah. I didn't do much,
The
but
chairman.
yeah, I was the chairman. The
What
chairman.
the chairman? That's good.
I know. Weird.
How did that work? How did that happen?
I don't know. I just went to the meetings. I helped develop the netball club. The netball club was there, but the more I got involved, I remember getting us uniforms one year, our first year having uniforms for our when we'd go away and stuff, and yeah, and left them to it in the end. What other businesses did I have? Oh, and I worked for other people too. So I worked at the local pub, and that had a restaurant, bar, 2 bottle stores, and they just moved me around whenever they wanted to make money. And then from one of the bottle stores as well was in a mall, and it was about 3 meters from this woman's clothing store called Rockman's. I don't know if you heard of Rockman's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I worked there as well.
Fucking hell.
So just
Beast.
I'd close one shop, go to the other, or vice versa. And yeah, I did well in sales. I could have stuck with sales actually. They always said you could sell shit to sewage workers.
Yeah.
Oh, and yet I'm still, still trying to grind to sell this bloody brand.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get
Yeah, well, it would help if you were sitting in the camera properly, but
I keep thinking
do you got any like other like any other hoodies or anything you can show or anything like you can show you on the camera quickly before we jet out of here?
Sure.
Let's go. Hey, shout out to everybody that's watching too, wherever you are watching, or and if you're listening audibly, appreciate you so much for listening this far. We're an hour and 8 minutes in, and yeah, it's just awesome to learn more about the
great
I
better start making dinner. So this is the apron. Aprons actually became the everyone's got a marae, so the aprons actually became a real thing. Everyone wanted an apron.
Yeah, apron.
And,
if you want, I got the Paua apron.
I think it ran off the fact that I had this apron. So there it is.
Oh, Rachael, Master Chef. There you go.
And that's where they put the sound, the batteries.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It on. Yeah. So all of our stuff had this. We had 2 aprons.
You got to keep it.
So you have the one while you're cooking, and then you had the one to put on for your judging, like brand new magic of television.
Would you ever sell that? If someone was to offer you like $1 million, would you sell that or nah? Keep it.
Sure. Nah.
Let's go. It's for
I'm
sale,
willing to
partner.
sell it for $1
For the
million.
right price. That's
Yeah,
it.
I've got 2 of
100%.
them, so yeah.
Hey, you shouldn't have said that. I'll cut that part
I
out.
only
There's
need,
only one. There's
I,
only one in the world. Okay. It's,
yeah, I
you
only
gotta,
need 1 million.
you gotta make like it's finite. You gotta make like it's a finite resource. There's
Yes,
only one.
yeah.
There's only one.
Yeah, I mean, oops, I burnt the other one.
Well, I don't know. You know that
Yeah,
you know that
lights
artist
on
Banksy.
fire.
You know Banksy.
No, I've seen the name
Banksy's
though.
street artist from the UK. A lot of people don't know who the person is or anything. Doesn't show his face, whatever. Graffiti
Oh
artist,
yeah.
but he had
Yeah.
a portrait of his that sold, and then when it sold, it shredded. It had a shredder built into the painting, so when it sold like at auction, it shredded. And then it was worth even more. So who knows, that burnt apron, if you still got it,
Ah,
might be worth even more than the $1 million one.
yep, I'm gonna burn my apron after this.
Yeah, that's it. Where do people gotta go to
I'll
get I
burn it
Got The
when they
Paua?
buy it.
That's it, burn it when they
At
buy
the
it.
moment, yeah. At the moment, just through my Instagram, we're just changing from I got the
And that is
power.com
yep.
to Shopify, and I've got to do
Okay.
that. So
So
we're just in the process. Otherwise, my
your
Instagram,
Instagram is
I got underscore the power, or my personal one, which is Te Singing Chef.
Tear Singing Chef. All right. I'll put them in the description of the episode on YouTube and Rumble and on all the audio platforms as well, so they can, or your Instagrams, so you
Hey,
can check it out there for sure. I
yeah.
know we're gonna do more of these episodes anyway, Rach. Maybe we should try and get some more chefs. I'm sure we got plenty more yarns to say, and
Oh,
you know,
and
maybe
friends. Let's bring our friends.
let's
Yeah,
bring our friends in there. So
yeah.
Rach
I
is
think
keen to do a few
I
more.
think you can open up minds to some of my friends that I know. You will just have a good,
Yeah, we'll
good
bring them on.
banter,
Let's have a
good
yarn.
yarn.
Even our
Yeah,
brother five-headed chef. Whatever. But we'll see. The more we do. So I mean, as long as
yeah. More the
these days,
merrier.
Tuesdays and Mondays are open for you, let's find some time
And
and
for
let's do it.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I
It's
might
good for
I
you.
might take my phone to his house and make him do it with me.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything yours? Any takeaways from MasterChef? Like, if anyone was gonna do a show like that, do you have any advice for people that like, hey, like Rach, you've done it before, or any show sort of similar? What advice would you give?
Don't be a dick. Um, don't go in there thinking you're cocky and gonna and you know what? You can only be as prepared as you can be, because half of the people had folders and they had just practice over and over and over again, and it was still not what they expected. I suppose preparation is key, but um no, just enjoy it. Like, breathe in every moment and take it in. Oh, and listen, follow the recipe, because
Ooh, okay.
that's what I didn't do.
Oh, hey, you might have come first instead of 13th, eh?
It was like, it
But
was
that's
the
probably
method. I was like,
pro-
my method is probably can be better.
mm.
Yeah,
But if
it's
you
funny
think
because
about it,
my chef said the same thing. She
what
said,
did they
"You'll
say? Oh,
never
this
follow
exactly.
recipe." Yeah, she said, "So why you get kick off?" And I said, "Oh, I just didn't follow the recipe." She's like, "Oh, you never follow recipe." I'm like, so I'm quite proud of me because I stayed myself and I and I did what a typical me would do. Yeah, well,
Or
what I thought was better. I've
even how
always
you
been a
finished
perfectionist.
13th. You finished 13th. Being from Flaxmere, that's probably he tohu te ra.
Oh no, no, not from Flex-me. We grew up in Flex-me. It
Oh,
ain't a
grew up
Kitira.
from Paki.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, grew up.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I'm gonna be interviewing Parker soon, and I just thought I'd ask you if you could ask Parker one question. What would be a question you'd ask the bro Parker?
Mm. If we could have any job uh, outside of what he's doing now,
Mhm.
um, what would he do? What would you do with your time? And what would make him
Mm,
happy?
will make him happy. I'll put that in the memory
Mm.
bank, and I'll take that to my kōrero with our Parks. Thank you again, Rach, for this. It's been a pleasure as
Cool.
always having a kōrero with you. Always grateful to sit down and cordial with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Anybody else that listened, make sure you follow Rach in the description of this episode, wherever you're listening or watching this. Te Singing Chef, on Instagram. And what is it? I got the power. Oh, how did
I
it go?
got underscore the power. Yeah.
I got underscore the power. And
someone needs taking it.
I look forward to doing many more with you, Rach, and whoever else we can bring on with these your friends, other chefs. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll interview Gordon Ramsay together. Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.
Do it.